Good win that, Ian, up to 5th. Happy?
Yeah, that's what we set out to be before the weekend, about getting ourselves in a good position going into the last few games of the season now. So we've done that today in probably tough circumstances, to be fair, in the way the game was. It was a really good arm wrestle for large parts, and being behind at 12-10 as well. I thought we stuck into the right parts of the area with our mentality to come through the other side, and then we were patient and composed in good ball, and then we got our results on the back of that.
That kind of must have impressed you, obviously, because sometimes we struggle to do that, don't we?
Yeah, I thought us defending goal line in first half, I think we had about four sets, 7 right on our goal line. We defended that really, really well when it kept going back to 0 straight away. I thought we had the attitude to defend our goal line, and then second half I thought we was a lot better with the ball second half, because first half we were probably chasing the edge a little bit too much and we made a few errors, but good in terms of the arm wrestle.
Do you think that defensive attitude is what's needed on the next few games to sort of seal the finish the job, basically?
Yeah, D wins your games, and it's no secret it wins your competitions. If you're looking kind of history as well, and I think Wigan the other year won the competition, won the grand final with the worst attack in the competition, but probably the best defence as well. So your defence is massively important. It kind of fuels you going forward for your attack. If you can defend your goal line for a few sets, and then you get the ball and go up the other end of the field and turn it into points, that's a big plus for you as a team.
Now you're in the top 5. Does the job change in a way over the next few games? Now you sort of defending your top 5 players around and chasing it.
Oh no, we want to keep it. So we have that aim now. It's in our hands. We kind of knew it was already in our hands anyway, but we wanted to make sure that we nailed 5th today, that we got in that 5th position, and for us now it's up to us keeping that.
Felt it very similar to the last game you had with them. You went 8-0 up early on and didn't quite kick on. Were you at any stage worried?
Or first half, we came in at half time. Half time kind of came at a good time for us. Obviously, we got a penalty just before it, but we wasn't doing the right things. We fell away from a few things. We started chasing the edge, like I just spoke about before, and we started making errors. And we'd spoken about not doing that or not trying to go there too early. And we probably put ourselves under more pressure, and we can see the points on the back end of that. And obviously, in the end, started coming from behind to get the result.
It was really stop-start, wasn't it, in the last quarter? Did that went against you a little bit?
Yeah, awful. I didn't like that, because last time that happened to us here, we kind of lost concentration. So that was the messages that were going out at that time there. We kind of wanted to make sure we retained our focus, but to be fair, I don't know how many head injuries there was there, but O'Brien came off, and he didn't seem to be injured as he came off, and then he's gone back on after the head test as well. But there's a few things that were just a little bit kind of slowing the game down today. I think just a little bit of tactics potentially for some of them. But one of the things that is annoying me is Chris Wellham's competing for the ball in the air on kick chases all the time, but he keeps getting penalties against him when he's competing for the ball. It's really becoming a real bugbear at the moment, because we're competing hard and going for the ball, yet as soon as you kind of touch the guy in the air, they're just saying it's a penalty straight away. You've got to start kind of taking the contest out of the game with that.
Is that something you'd like to obviously see change?
Yeah, I think we're going to send a message about it after the game, because it's happened in our last 3 games. We're kick chasing really well and competing for the ball, but they keep giving penalties against us all the time, the officials, so we need it clearing up.
Yeah, you've had some great wins this year with some great attacking wins, but this just feels an even bigger win, the manner of it.
Yeah, I thought the way Huddersfield came, they came with a real good mentality. They definitely weren't like they were last week anyway, put it that way, which they don't seem to be against us. They came with a mentality to kind of get in the arm wrestle and play with some energy. I thought Holmes and Russell did a real good job for him, and caused us a couple of problems, especially Holmes on the left edge as well. So they came with a purpose to play, and it kind of probably gave us a taste of what's going to come really in the next few games, really, because that arm wrestle mentality is a semi-final football kind of way to play, and you've got to make sure you outlast the other team in that arm wrestle, and I thought today we generally did that.
Given how tight it is in Super League, does it make your achievement of being 5th at this point even more pleasing?
I think it's been massive for us as a club. If you look at the numbers, just kind of on the finances and the resources of what the boys do every single week, they're outstanding. The group of players we've got are first class. They don't complain about what we don't have. We worry about what we do have, and then we go forward with that, and we try and put our best foot forward every single time we take the field. And the boys have been a credit to the club throughout the full year in the way that they've done that. We just need to make sure for our own ambition now, what we want to do is make sure that we nail a playoff spot and then push in the playoffs and see what we can do.
Everyone's talking obviously about how tight it is at the bottom, but the race for the 5 is tight, and it's yours now, isn't it? So someone's got to take it off you.
Yeah, well, there's obviously Catalan, Castleford. Cass got a win. Obviously, Leeds did us a favour the other day by pulling Catalan back. So it's kind of in our own hands, all three of us really. So it's probably who wants it most at this moment in time.